Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. We're going to be doing our first Q&A after the season, or what it looks to be series finale of the show, going over your thoughts and our overall ideas and opinions on the end of the series. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for the Walking Dead universe. And in today's video, we're going to be doing our first Q&A video after the finale of The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. We're going to go through your Q&A comments and your questions. Of course, if you didn't see the community post I posted yesterday, I actually filmed this video yesterday. I'm not even joking yet. And I went back to edit the video like I always do. And it was hilarious. I was like, well, it was hilarious, but I was also like, my goodness, seriously? I recorded like a very lengthy Q&A video for you guys yesterday. I go back and edit it, and all I hear is this insane echo in the background. Hey, guys, this is going to be doing another video. I was like, okay, fuck. So I got to do this again. So anyway, I'm back re-recording the video for y'all. Wasn't going to upload it in that condition. I don't know what happened to the audio, but it was absolutely terrible. But anyway, enough rambling. Let's do this again. So, all right. Starting off with the first comment for today after the finale. Comes from the Big Bang Theory, who says that, Dan, do you think that Morgan's scene at the end of Fear the Walking Dead, that he's off looking for Rick, and he of course leaves with that intention, and now that Morgan didn't pop up in The Ones Who Live, do you view that scene as semi-pointless? No, I don't. Although I will say this, the scene definitely takes a hit, at least in terms of hype for Ones Who Live, because I did think that we were potentially going to get Morgan at the end of Ones Who Live. Didn't happen, of course, and there has been no word of a season 2. It sounds like this is definitely the definitive ending of The Ones Who Live. But yeah, you know, Morgan and Rick's reunion is something I still demand. I don't know when it's going to happen, if it's going to be like 5 years down the road or something. It kind of feels like that's the way they're going to handle this. But, you know, I feel like we're going to get Rick's reunion with Daryl. We'll get Rick's reunion with Morgan. It's just they're going to drag it out. They're going to take a long time before they do that. And, you know, it's not good because the actors are getting old, you know. So I personally would say that Morgan's scene in Fear the Walking Dead when he says he's going to go look for Rick, it's not affected. I just hope that they pay off with it, you know, is my kind of way of looking at it, you know. I just hope that there's a good payoff, is I guess more so what I'm trying to say. The next one comes from the Filming Daniel, who says that, Dan, do you think it would have been better if Major General Beal was presumed dead in the explosion, but maybe we got some kind of reveal that he survived somehow? The CRM still changes for the good, but General Beal is still alive and he's still a threat. Do you think that would have maybe fixed the finale in some kind of way? No, I wouldn't have done that. Personally, for me, I would have still had the CRM go on as a threat, at least for a second season. I think you could have easily had another season out of CRM as a threat. And here's the thing as well, too, is that I felt like General Beal was just getting started as a character, and then they kind of offed him, which is definitely not the way they should have gone about it. If they were going to kill him in the finale, which, again, in my opinion, there's absolutely no problem killing him in the finale. And I feel like that's the one thing people don't really understand about my review is that, yeah, I am for General Beal dying. I love the fact that Rick killed him. I think for his character, it's really good. Just have Beal be in the story more before you do something like that, you know? Because, again, I recognize that Andrew Lincoln's probably never going to lead a Walking Dead show again, and you want to have Rick kill the big final villain at the end, you know? And it was done in a great way. I just get there better next time is kind of the way I look at it. It felt like there was so much more promise with General Beal with all the build-up and World Beyond and, you know, Fear the Walking Dead with the Reclamation team and stuff. It just, I don't know, it felt very anticlimactic to me, and I know I'm not the only one that thinks that too, so I don't know. Plus, because you got John Locke from Lost over here, like, you could have easily done more with him. He was barely in episode 1 and 2, and then, okay, he's in episode 6, but then he dies about halfway through, you know? With all the build-up and all the talk about his name, you know, like a very legendary status, I kind of expected more from him. But again, you know, it is what it is. You know, we got him for the time that we did. I appreciate Terry O'Quinn coming on and, you know, doing the part. But no, I don't think that if I agree with the way they killed General Beal. I just wish that they did it, you know, later on. Like, I wish that we had more time with him. Him surviving the blast, no, it wouldn't have made any sense. But I get what you're saying, though. Like, you know, maybe like eventually you find out he's alive, then he comes back for justice and stuff like that. My biggest question with Major General Beal is, where's his son? done? You know, like, where's Mason Beal? And I know a lot of people are saying, like, oh, we may get him at some point down the line. And it's like, well, I kind of don't want to see him. Like, CRM is kind of done, you know? I'm just shocked that General Beal never brought up his son. It's almost like they tried to ignore the fact that they wrote that in. Like, I don't know. We'll have to see, though. Maybe we'll see him down the line. I would find it kind of rather pointless, but, you know, I guess never say never, yeah. The next one comes from John Snowfan, who says that, Dan, do you think that this scene where we had the soldiers blow up all at one time with Michonne and Rick standing nearby was a little unrealistic that they would manage to survive in that type of explosion, seeing how big it was? Also, I found the love never dies line and some of those lovey-dovey lines to be a little bit cringy. What about you, Dan? You know, it's funny. I don't disagree with you. No, I really don't. And I kind of mentioned this a little bit in the review too. And let me make this clear before I get into it, because I feel like people are just going to think I'm a hater. I love Rick and Michonne. Hell, you guys know Rick Grimes is my favorite character of television. He's my favorite character of all time. So this is nothing against the characters when I say this. The love story in this show, I think, worked a lot. It did. I really do think it did. Episode 4 in particular, I thought it was absolutely spectacular. Episode 5, I think that's when I started noticing a little bit of the overdone writing with it, and that to me was when Jadis was like, Rick, when you were going to escape, I wasn't going to come after you. I didn't give a shit, you know? But you and Michonne together, you guys can do anything. Rick, you on your own, I didn't believe in you. You with Michonne, you two together, you can do anything, you know? And you got the line where she kills Pearl Thorne in the finale. And again, I love Michonne, but she's just like, love doesn't die. And then like she says it again and the music like builds up again and she's like, love doesn't die. I was like, you know, it's like, I don't know how I feel about that, writers. Honestly, you could have done better there. No offense. And I know Andrew Lincoln and Denai wrote it. I know. I recognize that. You could have done that a little bit less cringy. I'm not going to lie to you. I love Andrew Lincoln. I love Denai Guerrera. But I think they went a little bit overboard on the love story. I'm not going to lie to you. I love the idea of a great love story. I think it was important for Rick and Michonne, but I felt like in the finale, they made it too much about the love and not enough about the gigantic fucking army that they were facing against, and focused a little bit more on realism. And I do agree that in the explosion, yeah, same thing with Pearl Thorne. Realistically, they'd all be dead. You can't argue that. Realistically, they would all be dead. Now, with that one, I'm fine with that, and I'm not going to complain about that because you don't want Rick and Michonne to die, okay? So that, to me, is not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with people saying, like, oh, like, why did Rick and Michonne have a reunion with their kids in, like, a random field? You know, it's like, I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? They probably did that because they didn't want fans to see them in a big open set. You know, that's fine. Maybe get better security, but still, you know, absolutely, I don't fault them for little problems like that. You know, like plot armoring Rick and Michonne in the explosion, or, you know, situations like, you know, Judith and them reuniting in a field. I don't care about that shit. What I more so care about is that, yeah, I do agree. The love story, it was a little bit overdone, I will admit. And I don't like the way that they made Rick seem like he couldn't do anything on his own. That's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. Rick Grimes is a phenomenal survivor. Same with Michonne, but it doesn't mean that Michonne has to be there for Rick to be a badass. I disagree with that, and I can't believe that the writers forced that on us in the show. It was really bad. I do agree. But like I said, you know, plot convenience, plot armor, I'm fine with it. You know, you don't want Rick and Michonne to die, so I'm fine with that. But yeah, I do agree. The love thing got a little bit cringy in the last couple episodes. I do agree. Next one comes from Dr. Smarty Pants, who says that, Dan, do you think that the CRM was wiped out a little bit too soon? I don't know. After all the build-up, I felt like they could have done more with them. And this was another one that I figured I'd grab about the CRM, because this is definitely something to acknowledge about the finale. You know, I enjoyed the finale, absolutely. But did it feel rushed? Absolutely. Definitely did. The CRM, yeah, I would love to see another season or two of the CRM. I know some people may say, oh, you're going to drag it out, you know? And I feel like that's what the writers were kind of afraid of, is to do another Savior storyline again, you know, so that they kind of wrap them up quickly. I disagree. I feel like there's a lot with the CRM that you could have done. Really develop Beal's character. Hell, show us some flashbacks of the outbreak and how he dealt with that. I would love that. I know not everybody would, but it really feels like this spinoff was about, you know, Rick and Michonne's love story more so than it was about the CRM. And you know, again, they advertise it as such, so it's not false advertising. It's just, it's not what I would have rathered to see. I would have rather seen more of the CRM and what they do and what they're about and stuff like that. You know, Rick and Michonne had their episode in episode 4, and it was beautiful. It really was. But after that, I really wanted to see some more CRM, and they didn't give us as much as I thought they would. It's over now, what you gonna do? But, you know, yeah, I do agree about the rushed, you know, thing. And I do agree with Dr. Smarty Pants that it was overhyped, the CRM. I do think it was a little overhyped in the spinoffs. And I think, and I've said this before, the CRM was not even a created thing until Andrew Lincoln wanted to leave. I guarantee you. Scott Gimple just randomly came up with that, and he came up with some group that could take him away so that Andrew Lincoln could go surfing. I mean, that's, and, you know, again, there's no problem with that. It just... It's facts. I don't think CRM was created because of the grander scale of the franchise. They made it very clear in this show that they created that group for Andrew Lincoln to get a getaway, you know, and then they would figure it out by the time he gets back. I guarantee you that's what the CRM was about, you know, and they made it up as they went along. And you may say, well, Dan, they made World Beyond, you know, they made, you know, several seasons of Fear have CRM in it. You can't tell me that was all just about Rick. Sure I can, you know, sure I can. It easily. They put him in Fear because they know Fear ratings were going down. They'd be like, oh yeah, look, that's the group that has Rick. You better watch it, you know. Look, World Beyond, this show about teenagers. Oh, but it's really about the group that took Rick. You better watch it, you know. Come on, guys. Like, honestly, it's very clear. It's very clear they created the CRM for Andrew Lincoln, which, again, there's no problem with that. Just give them more time, develop them more, especially General Beal. More time would have been very necessary and would have gone a long way. You know, I know there were many theories back in the day about Commonwealth versus CRM. I didn't need that. I just needed an extra season of actual character development from General Beal to live up to the hype that they've been giving us for the past like 5, 6, 7 years, you know? So that's all I'm saying. But again, he's dead now, so it is what it is, but there you go. The next one comes from Shamil, who says that, Dan, do you think we could get a Carol-based episode at one point or another? Maybe in the Daryl Dixon series or something where we actually get the reunion between her and Rick? It just feels like there's so many reunions that are kind of left to happen. Yeah, no, I agree. That's one thing I talked about in the Rick's Characters Not Wrapped Up video that I did a few days ago. It just doesn't feel like Rick is done. Fully, at least, you know? In terms of his main story, in terms of Andrew Lincoln leading a show in the franchise, I think he's done. I'm going to be honest. I think he's done. But at least for Carol, Daryl, Morgan, Negan, Maggie, like, there are many other things. I would like to see an interaction on him and Gabriel talking about Jadis and what she really did to him, you know? Will we ever get that? I don't know. I will admit, I'm not satisfied with Rick's character, at least until we get the Daryl one. Daryl and Morgan, I'd say, because Morgan, you built it up, so you have to do it. But here's the thing, with Daryl, that one's just, that's a personal one for me. I don't know, man. Those two are bros. I want that one so bad. But the other ones, like Negan, Maggie, Carol, stuff like that, I don't need it. It'd be nice, you know what I mean? Like, if you asked Andrew Lincoln to come back for something small, you know? I hate to keep pushing him, because I know the guy has been done with Walking Dead, but I don't know, man. It's like, well, maybe next time write in an actual reunion with Daryl in the show so that you don't have to beg Andrew Lincoln to come back for more, you know? Do it in the timeline. I don't know, something, you know? It's not going to feel complete, you know, until some of these are done. I doubt that Rick's going to show up in the second season of, you know, Daryl Dixon. I don't think that's going to happen at all. Which sucks, though, because now you're kind of in that position where it's like, okay, so now you're going to have to do something else, you know, because you guarantee Carol is going to meet up with Daryl and she's going to be like, oh, yeah, by the way, Rick came back, you know, and she's going to be like, oh, shit, you know, like, I'm out here in France, you know, it's like, well, I mean, there you go, I guess. So, I don't know. It's a messy situation. I do agree. It's a very, very messy situation. We'll have to see where it goes. Next one comes from Lane, who says that, Dan, do you think there's any possibility that Mason Beal, General Beal's son from The Walking Dead World Beyond, comes back to maybe be a villain in a second season of The Ones Who Live? Please no. Please no. I do not like World Beyond. I've made that very clear, obviously. Yeah, no, you didn't put him in there with his dad. You didn't do anything with them. Honestly, you'd be best to leave it be. At this rate, you'd be best to leave it be. I've heard a lot of people say that, and I'm just like, honestly, the kid is not intimidating whatsoever. No offense to him, I don't think the actor's that good either. I would be done with it. Personally, I would be done with it. But again, maybe that's just me. Maybe some people, maybe some people want to see that. But I personally, I would say be done with them. Next one comes from Lil Who says that, Dan, did you see the behind-the-scenes image of Andrew Lincoln with Kaylee Fleming, actor for RJ, and Denai Guerrera, where he had a new prosthetic hand and they were having a picnic? It appears to be a deleted scene that they didn't put in the episode. Yeah, I had a few people telling me about that. It was like all over social media and stuff like that. Why would they ever delete that? I'm telling you, man, this episode should have been like an hour and a half. You know, like you get like a good half hour or so, maybe more. I know that sounds over the top, but like, stay with me here. Imagine how amazing it would be if Rick connected with everybody, reconnected with the survivors at Commonwealth, saw what they accomplished, also saw what they lost, and we got the reunions. And at the end of the show, Carol says, Rick, I got it. Go spend time with your family. I'll go get Daryl. You know, that's how the show should have ended, at least in my opinion. I think that would have been phenomenal. I'm not sure why they didn't do it. Probably a budget issue, but that would have been so good, honestly. As for the deleted scene, yeah, anything extra with the family, they should have put in. Admittedly, I really don't understand why they didn't, but maybe we'll get it in the DVD. I guess that's not impossible. And then finally, the last one comes from Zombie, who says that, Dan, did I seriously watch World Beyond for nothing? Well, unfortunately, you did. I've heard a lot of people say that. It's like, man, World Beyond was so good. Did I watch it for nothing? I'm just like, well, I never liked it to begin with anyway. But no, I think you did, to be honest. The show is more about the teenagers than the CRM anyway. I'm telling you. But yeah, no, World Beyond was pretty pointless in the end. Yeah. There you go. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think about all this stuff about the finale? We'll do another Q&A later on this week as well, too. So, more questions, of course, can be submitted from y'all. I want to just hear as many thoughts as possible about the finale. So, we'll do another one coming up here probably in a few more days. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos for The Walking Dead. Make sure to follow me at Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos of The Walking Dead universe. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.